Shabbat Shalom and welcome to the many guests who are here for Dylan's bar mitzvah as part of our morning worship service. For those of you who haven't been to a liberal synagogue before, you'll be surprised by the quiet during the service. We have lots of options for you if you have younger people who are unable to be quite quiet. There's a creche which is in the hall behind. There's a community room just outside to the right as well if young people prefer to chat. But otherwise, the great news is that our services aren't very long. And so there's not too long to be quiet. But we hope that you will exercise your voices very much so, in joining in with the service, both the readings and the singings when you know the tunes, and even if you don't know the tunes, to make this a really special experience for Dylan and his family. It's a special experience for our community as well, as we celebrate a third generation in this community. We begin our service on page 105. Page 105. Please rise. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. Through your great love, O God, I enter your house. With awe I worship in your sanctuary. Eternal God, I love the house where your glory dwells. Humbly I worship before my God and Maker. May my prayer be acceptable to you, eternal God. In your great kindness, answer me with your saving truth. Please be seated. We continue together as we say the prayers of our ancestors. Help us, O God, to remember their faith and devotion, their joy and their suffering, and make us worthy of our heritage. May the tradition we have received live in us and pass from us to generations we shall never know, enriched by the truth we have found and the good we have done. So may we fulfill our task on earth and receive our blessing. Yiratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu. Eternal God, school us in your teachings and make us loyal to your commandments. May we never consent to evil or surrender to temptation or self-contempt. Help us to rise above selfishness and make us responsive to the voice of conscience. Direct our every impulse to your service. Today and every day, may we merit kindness and compassion in your sight and in the sight of all who behold us. And let us know your love. We praise you, O God, for the love you daily show us. Together, Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechulal b'fi'amo, u'shubach umfo'ah b'shon chasidav v'avadav, b'shvachot u'vizmirot, v'gadel lecha v'namlichecha, malkeinu yachid chei ha'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, melech muhulal b'tishbachot. This is a very simple song, so please will you sing with me? Oh, Dia Hallelujah, oh, Dia Hallelujah, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, oh, Dia Hallelujah, oh, Dia Hallelujah. We read responsively at the foot of page 108. Always I will exalt you, my sovereign God, beginning each day with praise. Cause us to see your greatness is beyond us, declaring your works to each generation, even as they speak of your splendor. For as they tell of your awesome might, great is your goodness which they celebrate, holding us in your grace and compassion. In your goodness, eternal God, joyfully your works shall thank you, knowing how great is your majesty. Let all humanity perceive your power. Mighty is your rule and everlasting. O God, you support the falling. Pleading, all look in hope to you. Quietly you open your hand. Righteous are you in all your ways. So near are you to all who call upon you. The desire of those who revere you, you fulfill. Unceasingly our lips shall sing God's praise, and may all creatures laud God's holy name forever. Please rise. And together, Yishtabach Shimcha ad Malkeinu, Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim uVa'aretz. Ki lecha na'er Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu. Shir u'shvacha, Hallel v'Zimra, Brachot v'Hodaot me'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai, Habocher b'Shirei Zimra. Page 135. Baruchu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach. Leolam Vahe. Praise the one to whom our praise is due. Praise the eternal one, to whom our praise is due forever. Please be seated. And we continue together. We praise you, eternal one, our God, sovereign of the universe, maker of light and creator of darkness, author of peace and creator of all things. In your mercy you give light to the earth and all who live on it. And in your goodness you renew creation continually, day by day. How manifold are your works, O God. With wisdom have you made them all. The world is full of your creations. Your handiwork proclaims your praise. The radiant stars bear witness to your glory. We praise you, O God, creator of lights. And we continue. Ahava rabba ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu. Chemla gedola v'teira chamalta aleinu. Avinu malkeinu. Ba'avor avotenu shabatachu v'cha. Vatlamdeim chukei chaim. Kein techonenu utlamdenu. V'teim b'libenu lahavin ulahaskil. Lishmoa lilmod ulalmeid. Lishmo v'la'asot ulkayem. Et kol divrei Toratecha be'achava. V'ha'e enenu b'Toratecha. V'rabek libenu b'mitzvotecha. V'yached levavenu li'achava u'li'ira et shemecha. Kivanu v'rachata li'achedecha ba'achava. Baruch ata Adonai. Aboche ba'amo Yisrael be'achava. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha, uv'chol ma'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavacha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbacha uv'kumecha, ukshautam laot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvish areh. Please be seated. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Lamantis geru hasitem ekol mitzvotai. Vihitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher chotzeiti etechem be'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Good and beautiful and true. Sound, established and enduring are these words, now and forever. True it is, Eternal One, that you are our sovereign God and Redeemer, as you were the God and Redeemer of our ancestors. You are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. Mi chamocha balim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, nora techi loosed on the redeemed sancts your name at the shore of the sea. With one accord they gave thanks and proclaimed your sovereignty. Adonai imloch leolam vaed zu Yisrael uma bezrat Yisrael leinu Adonai Shebaot Shemo Kadosh Yisrael Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael Gal Yisrael Yisrael. Please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita kilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita kilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth shall declare your praise. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth shall declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imachot, Umevi Geula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'achava, Melech Chozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Machayei meitim atah Rav lechoshia, Mashiv haruach u'Morid hageshem, Mazriach hashemesh u'Morid hatal. Chayim v'chesed mechayei meitim v'rachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofech oalim umatir asurim umekayem emunato l'shenei afa. Michamocha ba'al gevurot umino melach melech meimid umachayeh umatzmiach Yeshu. V'ne'eman atah lehachayot meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Machayei hameitim. V'kadesh et shimcha be'olam, Kashem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad nevi'echa. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech kol haaretz, Kvodo malei olam. Baruch kavod Adonai bimkomo, Baruch kavod Adonai bimkomo. Mimkomacha malkeinu tofia v'timloch aleinu, ki machakim anachnu lach. Imloch Adonai leolam, Elohai Yitzion, ledor v'hador, Alleluia. Ledor vador nagid godlecha. From generation to generation, we will make known your greatness. To an end of time, we will proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O our God, shall never depart from our lips. Praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. Please be seated. Yismachu b'malchutecha, Yismachu b'malchutecha, Shomerei Shabbat v'korei honeg, Am kadshei Shavi'i, Am kadshei Shavi'i, Kulam yispahu v'yitanogu mituvecha, V'hashivi ratzita bo v'kidashto, V'hashivi ratzita bo v'kidashto, V'hemdat yamin oto garata zeche l'maaseh b'reishit. In the middle of page 143 we read together, Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Say Adonai Eloheinu ba'amacha Yisrael, utfilatam b'chavat gabel, utchil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha, yira na'avod. Modim anachnu lach, she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu, le'olam va'em. So chayenu magen yishenu, atahu ledor vador. Nodeh lecha u'nesaper techilatecha, al chayenu hamasurim biyadecha, v'al nishmotenu habakodot lach, v'al nisecha shebechol yom imanu, v'al niflotecha v'tovotecha, shebechol eitz erev v'avoker v'tzochorayim. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. We continue. Grant peace, welfare, and blessing, grace, love, and mercy to us and to all Israel, your people. As a loving parent, bless us with the light of your presence. For by the light of your presence, eternal God, you have revealed to us the law of life, a love of kindness and righteousness, blessing and mercy, life and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people, Israel, and all peoples, be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. We pause for our own thoughts and prayers. Ratzon imrefi, vehegon li bila fanecha Adonai tzuri v'goali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam, Osei shalom bimroma, Uyasei shalom aleinu, Amen. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. We now turn to page 481, page 481 for our Torah service. There is none like you, Eternal One, among the gods people worship, and there are no deeds like yours. Your sovereignty is everlasting. Your reign endures from age to age. Would you please rise? Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Gadlu Adonai Eti and Arobam al Shemo Yachdav. Let us magnify the Eternal One. Together, let us exalt God's name. Please be seated.
In the presence of this congregation, which represents the Jewish people all over the world, I give thanks for what I have learned of my Jewish heritage and promise to go on studying it in the years ahead. So may I come to understand ever more deeply and carry out more fully the duties that flow from it. I think of all those who, in past ages, have preserved the Jewish faith and declared their loyalty to it, as I do today. I thank my parents and my family, my teachers and my friends, and all who have helped me to reach this day. And I pray to God, guide me and keep me strong, so that I may fulfill the high hopes that rest on me. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehahianu v'himanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Amen.
The portion I'm reading is Ki Tavo, Deuteronomy chapter 26, verses 1 to 11. In this portion, Moses speaks to the Israelites and tells them to sacrifice their best 10% of produce and take it to the holy temple and the priest as an offering for God. Moses recites this prayer that the Israelites shall say when sacrificing their produce to God. This prayer, they say, may be familiar as it is read in the Seder service. Today I will be reading from the New Torah. I have chosen this Torah because I was at the synagogue when this Torah was brought in, and I was there to soak up the moment when this Torah was given to our shul. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMavorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'haya ki tavo al haaretz, asher Adonai Elohecha noten lacha nachala, v'irishta ve'yashavta ba, v'lakachta mereshit kol peri hadama, asher tavi martzecha, asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach v'samta v'teneh, v'halachta el hamakom asher yivhar Adonai Elohecha l'shakein shemo sham, uvata el hakohen asher yihye bayamim hahem, va'amarta elav higadati hayom l'Adonai Elohecha ki vati el haaretz asher nishba Adonai la'avoteinu latet lanu, v'lakach hakohen hateneh miadecha v'hinicho lifnei mizbach Adonai Elohecha, va'anita va'amarta lifnei Adonai Elohecha, Arami oved avi, vayered mitzrayma, vayagor sham bimtei meyat, vayehi sham legoy gadol atzum varav, vayareu otanu hamitzrim v'yanunu, vayitnu aleinu avodah kasha. Vanitzak el Adonai Elohei Avoteinu, Vayishma Adonai et kolenu, Vayar et onyenu ve'et amalenu ve'et l'chatzeinu, Vayotzienu Adonai mitzrayim, Beyad hazakah uvizrewa netuya, uvemora gadol, uvotot uvemoftim. Vayivienu el hamakom hazeh, vayiten lanu et haaretz hazot, eretz zavat halav udvash. Vata hine heviti et reshit peri hadama, asher natata li Adonai, vahi nachto lifnei Adonai Elohecha, vahishtacha לפני אדוני אלוהיך, ושמחת בכל טוב, אשר נתן לך אדוני אלוהיך ולביתך, אתה והלוי והגר אשר בקרבך. When you enter the land that the eternal your God is giving you, as a heritage, and you possess it and settle in it, you shall take some of every first fruit of the soil which you harvest from the land that the Eternal your God is giving you. Put it in a basket and go to the place where the Eternal your God will choose to establish the divine name. You shall go to the priest in charge at the time and say to him, I acknowledge this day before the Eternal your God that I have entered the land that the Eternal swore to our fathers to assign us. The priest shall take the basket from your hand and set it down in front of the altar of the Eternal your God. You shall then recite as follows before the Eternal your God. My father was a fugitive Aramean. He went down to Egypt with meagre numbers and sojourned there, but there he became a great and very populous nation. The Egyptians dealt harshly with us and oppressed us. They imposed heavy labor upon us. We cried to the Eternal, the God of our ancestors, and the Eternal heard our plea and saw our plight, our misery and our oppression. The Eternal freed us from Egypt by a mighty hand, by an outstretched arm and an awesome power, and by signs and portents, bringing us to this place and giving us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Wherefore, I now bring the first fruits of the soil which you, Eternal One, have given me. You shall leave it before the Eternal your God and bow low before the Eternal your God. And you shall enjoy, together with the family of the Levite and the stranger in your midst, all the bounty that the Eternal your God has bestowed upon you and your household. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu lechalam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'hayei olam nata betocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Please rise. Step out the way. Come this side. Come on, bend your knees. Go down through it. Turn it. Shematan Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, Please be seated. Well done, that's absolutely fantastic. Okay. Marks all right? Yeah?
Yeah. In this Torah portion, Moses explains how the Israelites were told by God that they should enter the promised land and follow a set of structured prayer. Moses tells the Israelites that they must take 10% of their best produce to the priest, which will be sacrificed to God. This is the first time that the Israelites were given a set of structured prayer. I can relate to this as I can recall a few of my first times and the moment of happiness that comes with the feeling you get when you accomplish a new challenge. I can remember the time I scored my first goal for JFS, watching Watford reach the Premiership for the first time since I've been going to watch them, or bowling my first wicket, or even trying a new food. This is important in our family because when we try new food, it is our tradition to make a wish. Now that I'm bar mitzvah, a first for me, I must take responsibility for my Jewish actions. I will now get more involved in our family Friday nights, and I will do so by saying the brachot. I will wear a talit and more. I will also take more responsibility around the house. Mum, I know you will appreciate this, especially. I promise I'll open the curtains every morning. This will mean my mum has 2 men in the house with her to help. As I read to you, people were to sacrifice their produce to God. My portion is really talking about Sukkot in biblical times. Nowadays, we hang fruit in the sukkah instead of giving an offering. So the festival we love and enjoy with our families, Sukkot, where we shape the lulav and etrog, was celebrated then and is still celebrated now within our Jewish community. At this shul, all the families and kids come together every year to build a sukkah and eat in the sukkah. I've taken part in this tradition for many years at MPLS. As well as my portion linking to Sukkot, it is also linked to Pesach, and it may have sounded familiar to you because we read it at the Seder. The Israelites wandered the desert for 40 years after escaping from Egypt, and God then gave them the land where they could be free. This is such a crucial part of our history and something we should never forget. Therefore, every year we retell the story at the Seder table and recite the ritual and recite the prayer. A wandering Aramean was my father. The sacrifice ritual ensured that the Israelites did not forget who they were and what happened to their ancestors now that they were free. As part of my Bar Mitzvah journey, I have chosen to link my Bar Mitzvah with the Yad Vashem Bar Mitzvah charity, and by doing this, I have taken the responsibility and honour of keeping the memory of Leib alive and the sacrifices he would have made. Leib was born in Czechoslovakia and was just 11 years old when he was killed in Auschwitz during the Holocaust in 1944, and I have decided to link my Bar Mitzvah with Leib as he was unable to have his. So I now have the honour of remembering Leib along with his parents, Moritz Berberger and mother, Rose Berberger. In my portion, we spoke about giving, and as part of my Jewish journey, I wish to give tzedakah more in the future and in better ways, whether it be food, money, time, or kindness. My portion in Haftarah has taught me a lot, especially about myself as a Jewish person. Now I can take what I've learnt and help it mould me for the future. The Haftarah I will be reading to you is Isaiah chapter 60, verses 1 to 22. It is also the 6th of 7th Haftarah of consolation, read on consecutive Sabbaths between Tisha B'Av and Rosh Hashanah. The reading is about God restoring Israel to its homelands and giving the people hope during their exile in Babylon after the destruction of the first temple. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar b'nviim tovim, v'ratza v'divrehem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, haboher b'torah, uv'moshe avdo, uv'Yisrael amo, uv'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Arise, shine, O Jerusalem, for your light has come. The glory of the Eternal is shining upon you. Though darkness may cover the earth, thick darkness, the peoples upon you, the Eternal will shine. Over you, God's presence will appear. Nations shall walk toward your light, and kings toward your sunrise. Raise your eyes and see. They are gathering, all of them. They are coming to you. Your sons shall come from afar, your daughters born securely. You shall see it and beam with joy. Your heart will thrill with pride. The sea's abundance shall shower you. The wealth of nations shall come your way. A horde of camels shall cover your land. The young camels of Midian and Ephah coming from Sheba, bearing gold and frankincense, proclaiming the praise of God. The flocks of Kedar shall be gathered to you. The rams of Neviot shall serve your needs, a sacrifice welcome on my altar, adding glory to my glorious house. Who are these that fly like a cloud, like doves to their coats? The coastland's vessels wait for me, the ships of Tarshish in the lead, to bring your children from afar, along with their silver and gold, to please the Eternal your God, the Holy One of Israel, who has given you glory. Foreigners shall rebuild your walls, and their kings shall serve you. For in anger I struck you down, but in favour I show you love again. Your gates shall be open always, day or night, they shall not be shut, to bring in the wealth of nations, their kings led as in procession. Nations and kingdoms that refuse to serve you shall vanish, their people utterly destroyed. The pride of Lebanon shall come to you. juniper, box tree, and cypress together to beautify the place of my sanctuary, to glorify the place where I rest. They shall come bowing before you, the children of those who oppressed you. They shall bow down at the soles of your feet, all those who despised you. They shall call you the city of God, Zion, abode of Israel's Holy One. As once you were abandoned and hated, with no one passing through, so now I make you a pride forever, the joy of all generations. You shall suck the milk of nations, suck the breast of kingdoms, and you shall know that I, the Eternal, am your Saviour, your Redeemer, the Mighty One of Jacob. Instead of copper, I will bring gold. Instead of iron, silver. Instead of wood, copper, and iron instead of stones. I will make peace your government and righteousness your rulers. No more shall the noise of violence be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. You shall name your walls deliverance and your gates praise. No more shall the sun be your light by day, nor shall the moon's glow brighten your night. The Eternal will be your everlasting light, and your God will be your glory. No more shall the sun go down, or your moon disappear, for the Eternal will be your everlasting light, and your days of mourning shall be ended. Your people shall be righteous, all of them, and possess the land forever. They are the shoot that I have planted, the work of my hands, to display my glory. The least of them shall become 1,000, and the smallest a mighty nation. I, the Eternal, will hasten it when the time has come. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim sadiq b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'oser, hamdaber kayem, shekol divarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al hanvi'im, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh. Shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnuha, לכבוד ולתפארת, על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לה, ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך, בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
Amen. Mazel tov, Shekoah. Would you please rise? In the middle of page 484, we read together, Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask your blessing for our Sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity. Eternal God, as you blessed our ancestors in generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders and its members, and all who enter this synagogue to meet, to study, and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us, and heal those in anxiety or pain. May we all find here community and friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage, and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the house of Israel throughout the world. Let those who live under oppressive rule soon be freed, and may we all unite to witness to your truth and do your will. And together, Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream, and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbours, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah, and the word of God from Jerusalem. And over the page, Yahalalu et Shem Adonai, Kiniskav Shemo Levado. Let's go. Where's Mum and Dad? Sorry? Not yet, not yet. Hold it. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Ve'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yavarech et Bar Mitzvah, Lei ben Sion ben David Avram v'Hana Leah, Shal'ah la Torah. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Dylan, who having reached the age of Bar Mitzvah, has come up to read from the Torah. Dylan, as you said, may you continue to study our heritage, to be a good person, to give tzedakah in whatever form that may be, and also to honour and remember your heritage, both that of your family and also of those you adopt along the way, such as Leib. May you also be blessed with many goals, many wickets, and all the things which are important to you in your life. I'm quite delighted to be able to celebrate many of them with you. And Dylan, may you also experience many firsts. Firsts which you notice, which you appreciate, and which you treasure and remember as you will always do this day. May they be ones which bring meaning and fulfillment to your life, and great joy to yourself and to all those around you. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may God always reach out to you in tenderness, and throughout your life bring you peace. And let us say, Amen. On page 489, Dylan, behold, a good doctrine has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Can I give you that? And if you want to take a scroll. Please be seated. Yeah, going down. Yeah, you can sit. No. We take it. A wandering Aramaean was my father. These words are the foundation of our Haggadah, the ritual retelling of our ancient Israelites' ancestors' plight in Egypt and God's miraculous rescue of Israel. At a simple level, this is the redemption that is spoken of. But early rabbinic tradition interpreted the opening line by altering the grammar as an Aramaean sought to destroy my ancestor. The rabbis read an allusion to Laban, the Aramaean, who sought to break down Jacob, and extended it to represent the long line of those persecutors who sought to destroy Israel. The context for this is most likely the realpolitik of the Second Temple period, when the Seleucid Empire, originating from what we now know as Syria, that they nickname Laban, the Aramaean, ruled Israel. The rabbis hyperbolically claimed that Laban's treatment of Jacob, the Seleucids' treatment of Israel, was worse than slavery in Egypt. The rabbis' way of highlighting the malignant nature of their contemporary existence. It is true that there have been a long line of those who sought to destroy us, at times so long and viciously destructive that we can lose recollections of those who sought to do God's work on earth. Those we have called righteous Gentiles since the Shoah, the Holocaust. Dylan, even if your mother has not wandered far from home, because I'm pretty sure that I taught her in Cheder in this very synagogue when I was a teenager and she was a young schnip, you can say that your father has wandered from his birthplace, as have your grandparents. Having a soft spot for your Grandpa Lee, I've always had an eye out for Bradford, and recently saw a Guardian article about Bradford Jewry, and in particular the Grade 2 listed Reformed Synagogue. The building, the second oldest extant Reformed Jewish building in the country, dating from 1880, stands at 7 Boland Street in all its unusual Moorish glory. The Jews of Bradford were mainly émigrés from Germany. There were so many of them living in the warehouse district of Bradford in the late 19th century that it was renamed Little Germany. In the 2011 census, only 299 Jews ticked the box from Bradford. Today there are 45 regular worshippers, new members replacing those who died. So magically, over the past few years, it's always remained at 45. By rights, the Bradford Reformed Synagogue would have closed at least twice in the last decade. Indeed, the community had assumed that this would be the case, seeking buyers. But the local Muslim community had other ideas, raising funds that was a catalyst to a major heritage lottery grant. There are often as many Muslim Bradfordians attending cultural events in the synagogue nowadays as Jews. My eye was caught by the story of one of them, Nusrat Afsa. Nusrat Afsa was born in 1955 in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. But from 1966, her home was Bradford. A social worker and carer, Nusrat's real interest was in photography, and it led her to become a social documentary photographer of critical note. Her catalogue includes series of the Bangladeshi community of Bradford, the South Asian community of Kirklees, the final days of a local institution, a hair salon, the women supporters of Bradford City Football Club, and pigeon fanciers. In 2001, her exhibition, 100 Years of Cheetham and Broughton, was shown at the Jewish Museum of Manchester. And Nudrat made friends with Rudy Levor, the synagogue's 93-and-a-quarter-year-old chairman, after carrying out a particularly heroic mission to transfer a bridge from a synagogue in nearby Shipley when it closed in 2013. 2 years ago, Afsa embarked on her project to photograph what felt like the synagogue's last chapter, wondering how long it would last. There are fewer and fewer Jewish people left, she said. It's this declining population and disappearing culture that I wanted to document. The photographs, all black and white, capture a mixture of the modern and the traditional. An electric menorah illuminates two women as they read a prayer book, one with dip-dyed hair. A young woman in a leather jacket looks on as a bald man in kippah and prayer shawl bows his head. Slightly grainy, they convey with intimate tenderness a community Afsa has come to know and treasures as much as her own. The rabbi refused her request to take pictures during services unless she used a telephoto lens, which she could not afford. So instead, the community stayed behind after services. Afsa has never been able to afford a camera since becoming a full-time carer for her disabled 31-year-old daughter, relying instead on borrowed equipment and grants. But her exhibition, Kehila, which means congregation or community, supported by the Arts Council of England, is on show for the first time in Bradford this week. And I had the opportunity, because the internet is a wonderful instrument, to pick up the phone and speak with her. She's a very humble, quiet woman. And I think we may be able to see her exhibition in our own Eitz Chaim art gallery that you'll be able to see next door when you go to Kiddush. I hope next year, the first time that Kehila will be shown in London. Bringing a slice of Bradford Jewry to MPLS, a wandering Aramaean, a reminder of a good, rich heritage in this country. This exhibition to me is symbolic, that the friends of the Jewish community generally outnumber the tiny but loud few who seek our destruction. Bringing the exhibition of a Muslim woman documenting the life of a Jewish community to our synagogue will allow us to open our doors to the many faith groups of Hillingdon and around here, and those of no faith, to celebrate our common humanity and expressions of difference. Dylan, you may be like your mum and bring up your children in our shul too, a fourth generation. Or like your father and grandparents, you may wander elsewhere, a wandering Aramaean. Whenever and wherever you enter a new land, may you remember the richness, the goodness of our heritage, your good fortune that allows you to be generous in time and money to others. And may you always find good friends in the society where you dwell. Your and our well-being is much thanks to all those good people who have, are, and will be our friends wherever we live. Kein Hiratzon, may it be God's will. Amen. Let us move to the concluding prayers of our service on page 520. Page 520. And please rise. Aleinu l'shabech la'adon hakol, la'tei gdula liyotzeh bereshit, asher sam chelkeinu le'ached et shemo, v'gar aleinu la'hamlich malchuto. Ba'anu koreim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei Melachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch. Shehu notei shemayim v'yosed aretz, Moshav Yekarol b'shemayim mima'al, Shechinatu zo begov heimaromim, Hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet Malkeinu efes sulato, Kakatuv b'torato v'yadata hayom v'hashevota el levavecha, Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim b'shemayim mima'al, V'al ha'aretz mitachat, ein od. Trusting in you, eternal God, we hope soon to behold the glory of your might, when false gods will vanish from our hearts and idolatry cease forever. Help us to perfect the world by bringing it under your unchallenged rule, when all will invoke your name, relinquish evil and turn to you alone. May all who dwell on earth come to know that to you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you let them humble themselves, and to your glorious name let them give honor. Let all submit to your sovereign rule. May that time come soon and last forever. For ultimate sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you'll reign in glory. As it is written, the Eternal One shall reign forever. And it has been said, the Eternal God shall rule over all the earth. On that day the Eternal God shall be one and known to be one. Worship before you, O God, we think of those who once shared with us the joys and burdens of life and are no longer in our midst. In our community, we recall the yahrzeits of Edelheid Schweitzer and Anne Field, the mother and sister-in-law of Caroline Field, of Bertha Gard, the mother of Barbara Glynn and grandmother of Judith Pemberton Glynn, Philip Austin and Sue Krasner, David Levenberg, the father of Sandra Harris, Harry Cohen, the father of Annabelle Cohen, Hyman Levine, the father-in-law of Arlene, Isabella Walton, the mother of David Walton, and Michael Levine, the husband of Arlene, father of Philippa and Tamsin. We're saddened also to announce the death this week of Timothy Halford, husband of Susie and father of Peter and Karen, brother of Miles. The sorrow of bereavement is softened by the bond of love which continues to unite us with our dear ones, and by our cherished memories of them, which we will always carry in our hearts. May all that was good in their lives remain with us as an influence for good. O God, grant consolation to those who are in sorrow, and light to those in darkness. Teach us at all times to put our trust in you. As we praise your name, turn over the page and together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei decho Beit Yisrael, V'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mavarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnasei, V'tada v'talei v'talal shemei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Damiran balma v'imru amen. V'hei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol b'nei Adam. V'imru. May great peace descend from heaven, and abundant life be granted to us, to all Israel, to all peoples, and to all those who mourn. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. A few moments, I invite our President to come and make a presentation to Dylan, but for those in the congregation, and just if you're interested as well, this evening we have a first for our congregation, which is a Salichot concert. Please do join us. Doors open at 8 o'clock for a free concert put on by Cantor Tamara and our members, the wonderful soloists Nellie Ben-Or and Jenny Kirk, and MPLS choir and many of our multi-generational members as well. It leads in after tea and coffee to our Salichot candlelit service at about 10 o'clock. A new one as well for us. Many of you, in fact many of you from other synagogues as well, have enjoyed our Yom Kippur children's services in the past in the synagogue. Because it's been so successful, we're going to run a Rosh Hashanah family service parallel to our main service at the Watford Colosseum on Rosh Hashanah. So please do feel free to come and along and enjoy that service with us, and also the main one if you'd like to as well. For those of you who would like to take a look into our community room as well, we have a small library which has a regular changing collection. I have had the blessing of being on sabbatical for 3 months from the congregation. They probably had this blessing of my sabbatical and being away as well for 3 months. Dylan, you'll be interested to know, who is the most successful European manager? You know? Pep Guardiola? No. Go and read. In the library, there is a book of the most successful European football manager. He was a Holocaust survivor, a Jew from Hungary. You may not have heard his name because I don't think, if I've read the book rightly, he wasn't a very nice gentleman, actually, but he was immensely successful. So go read. There's lots of other books, from the 100 best Jewish foods in there to through my passion of slightly bizarre Japanese authors, all the way through to modern classics, including, if you haven't read it, it's probably for my generation, I think more, Fleischmann is in Trouble. If you haven't read that yet, do look it out, because it's a brilliant, brilliant read. And very lastly, if you are interested in what on earth is going on in Israel, if any of us really know, politically, we're delighted to welcome James Serene, the Chief Executive of BICOM, the British Israel Communications Office, here next Thursday evening at 8 p.m. to try to unravel and unpack what is going on over there, and who knows what will have happened by then, maybe a few predictions from his as well. But please, you're all welcome to come and join us, because I can't fathom it out, that's for sure. Hopefully it'll help us. Spencer, Dylan, if you want to come up.
Dylan, we met earlier. What a splendid reading of the Torah you gave. For those who have never seen the Torah scroll before, it has no vowels, it has no music. Dylan has sung it just by looking at the consonants, I suppose. So very well done. Before I have a goodie bag here for you. The service is very nearly at an end, and all we have now is, all that's left is the closing hymn. The rabbi made some announcements. What he usually does is to say, if there are any congregants who need help or are in trouble or would just like to speak to me, will they please see me at the end of the service? So the service finishes and a gentleman comes to see the rabbi, and he says, "Rabbi, I've got terrible trouble with my hearing." And the rabbi says, "No, don't worry, I can fix it." And so the rabbi says, "Mendel, sit down," and he puts his left hand on the Mendel's left ear. Oh, that's my hearing aid going off. And he puts his right hand on his right ear, and he says a bracha. And then he takes his hands away, and he puts his left hand on Mendel's head, and he puts his right hand on top of that, and he says a bracha. And he says, "Mendel, how is your hearing now?" And Mendel says, "Rabbi, I don't know. It's next Wednesday at Harrow Crown Court." So, after that bit of nonsense, I have here, firstly, I have to talk into this. Oh. I have, yes, I had a goodie box. Now, this first one is a certificate from the World Holocaust Remembrance Center, Yad Vashem in Jerusalem. I've only just recently seen it, so I'm going to read, there is a certificate here, but what it's all about is that, just a moment, it says, I'm not going to read the whole letter, but it's from Yad Vashem, UK Foundation. I'm delighted to enclose details, study guide and pin for the twinning of Dylan's bar mitzvah with a young victim of the Holocaust, Lieb Berger, not sure how to pronounce it, who was killed before this milestone in his life. I would be grateful if you could pass this folder to Dylan on the morning of his bar mitzvah. There are a few other things here, and you know about this? You sort of know about it? Yeah, kind of. Okay, so I'm very pleased to present this to you. There we are. Don't go away, there's some more. There is a very expensive bar mitzvah card. Okay, I'll put it back in there. There is an even more expensive machzor that you can read on Yom Kippur or during the High Holy Days. Sit there with the book open, it'll look as though you're praying. You can fall asleep if you want to. The last one is it's a voucher for, I was going to say it's a very expensive voucher, but it's probably not. It'll get you a hire of a bicycle to cycle to the station. Then you'll have to make your own way to Israel. But that's a voucher. So Dylan, very well done.
Thank you.
Mazel tov and Yasher Kochacha, which means go from strength to strength.
Without further ado, Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem kol, Yetzir Nimra, Li'ed Nasa, V'chefzo kol, Azai Melech, Hashem Allah b'terem kol yetzini V'ayek nasa v'chefsa kol azay melech shemoni V'acharei kichlot hakol Levado yimloch nora v'chu haya v'chu chaveh V'hu yihei b'tzifara Adon olam Hashem Allah b'terem kol yetzini V'ayek nasa v'chefsa kol azay melech shemoni V'acharei kichlot hakol Levado yimloch nora Haya v'chu haveh, v'tzifara v'chu haya v'chu haveh, v'tzifara v'chu haya v'chu haveh, v'tzifara. Please rise. Eternal God, as we have said the prayers of our ancestors, we have recalled their faith and devotion, their joys and their suffering. May we always be worthy of our heritage as Jews, British Jews, living in this country.
Adonai,
Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov.
ook. Kan jou stemmen